Wednesday, May 24th, 2017, Monaco 64, home of alternative economics and contrarian views. So it's my second video today. It's quarter to 10 p.m. London time. So the stock market in the US has been closed for 45 minutes. Another fairly good day in the Dow. I think we're up around 75 points. And we also, if I'm not mistaken, we closed above 21,000 in the Dow. S&P closed above 2,400. So stock market looking good. Encouraging move for gold and silver today as well. We were weak early on in London and early US time. And we actually rallied towards the end of the day in the US, which is very unusual. Same thing for silver. Earlier this morning, we traded below 17. And right now, as I speak, we've got 15 minutes on the project A on COMEX. And silver, spot silver is 17.21, right near the highs, which has been 17.26. Gold, 12.58.20. The high's been 12.59.20. So encouraging day for the precious metals, even though the Dow and the S&P continue to do really well. What else? Currencies, fairly steady today. British pound has been pretty much unchanged. Dollar is a little weaker right now against the yen at 111.49. That's down 0.25%. Let's see, euro fairly strong, up 0.33% at 112.16. So yeah, the dollar was stronger earlier on today, and it's weakened as the day's gone along, and gold and silver have done well. The other thing I want to talk about today, I bought a DVD, actually not a DVD, but I bought a video on Vimeo from the Prophecy Club from Lindsey Williams. Maybe a lot of you have heard of Lindsey Williams. He worked as a chaplain. He's a pastor. He worked as a chaplain in the Alaskan oil fields in the 70s, from 1974 to 76. He worked for Atlantic Richfield, big oil company, and he was invited to sit on their board meetings. He became very close to the, the big, CEO at Atlantic Richfield and all the big executives. And then when he left, because of what he learned there, he wrote this book here called The Energy Non-Crisis. And basically what it says here in the book, it says, this book speaks for itself, so listen to the startling facts it reveals. And I quote, after only 1 week on the north slope of Alaska, Senator Chance had said to me, and he quotes this, almost everything said to me about the energy crisis by those briefers from Washington, D.C. was a lie. And he continues on to say, after proving the find at Gull Island, an ARCO, or Atlantic Richfield executive, went on to say, chaplain, America has just become in energy independence. The energy crisis had just come to a screeching halt. This ought to hit the front page of every newspaper in America. And this was in 1974-75. But before an announcement was made, the government forced them to cap it and seal the records, which documented the find. Why? And it goes on to say, at that point, I decided it was time for somebody to tell this story of a scandal greater than Watergate. So yeah, he wrote the book in 1980, and he had problems getting it published, so he self-published. And then it was very successful, and he was able to get some funding, some sponsors. I think you can still find this on the internet. And basically from this experience, Lindsey Williams gained, a lifetime relationship with whom he calls the elites, the people who ran the ARCO and big oil executives, insiders and he's made some forecasts in the past. I think the big one was in 2008, mainly because he talks to these insiders. The original insider, Ken Fromm, has died, but he still maintains contacts with some of the elite friends he has. And in 2008, he was told that the oil price was going to go to $150, and that's when it was around $40 or $50. And he came out on many shows on the internet and he stated that, and people laughed at him, and oil did go to 150. And then he came a year or so later and said, and when oil was around 145, 150, said, well, oil is going back down to $45. And it did. And his main contact, elite friend, Kenneth Fromm, died a few years ago. And a lot of what he's been saying in the last few years hasn't really proven to be, to have happened. But he's got a latest DVD that's come out, and I think it came out 1 or 2 days ago, and I purchased it on Vimeo, vimeo.com/Prophecy Club, and it's called Warning, This Summer, Panic Up, Lindsey Williams. So basically, he says his elite friend from Arco called him twice in 1 week. And he said that's very unusual because he never calls him. And basically he told Lindsey Williams that Donald Trump was not the choice of the establishment or the elites or the New World Order, but they have to put up with him. And if it had been Hillary Clinton who had won, they would have crashed the markets and the financial system. And, the powers that be, the big banks, everyone would have been bailed out probably again. But now with Trump, the elites or the New World Order or the establishment, whatever you want to call them, they feel that if they, pump and then dump the market, that Trump is not going to play ball. So what they've decided to do is just to pump and pump the market as far as they can, and he says the elite friend of his is saying that the Dow could go to at least 50,000. I think this title of the video, This Summer, Panic Up, I think it's just a warning this summer. It doesn't mean it's going to happen this summer. They said he said that the elite or the establishment, they don't want to bring everything down while Trump is president, and that could be another 4 years or another 8 years. So very interesting. Am I gonna bet my house on this? No, but maybe I'll think about having a small position, in an ETF that tracks the Dow Jones Industrial Average or something like that. Interesting that he's come out now, Lindsey Williams. You can buy this video on, I'll put the link below, and it's not just about the markets, but also about, he talks about health, he talks about like electromagnetic, waves, how it's affecting health, talks about GMO foods. Very interesting. And he also talks about the, the spiritual side of things, religion. Some of you might be, interested in that. So I think it's worthwhile buying the video. I haven't bought his, in the last year or two, I haven't bought any of his videos, but I thought this would be interesting. It was an interesting title. I got an email from him a few days ago. I'm on the list about Panic Up, and that sounded quite unusual. So yeah, he thinks they're gonna keep the market up, and he says all the newsletter writers and even me in the last year or two, we've been warning about maybe the market's gonna crash, financial meltdown, but it never happens. And he might have a point, But he also says that the establishment, the insiders, you know, they'll pump the market up to 50, 60, maybe 40,000. I don't know, but they will know when they have to get out, and they'll pull the plug. You know, you got to be careful with these things. So yeah, very interesting video. And tomorrow I'll make another video early on about the technical picture in gold and silver, because it looks quite interesting, and we've done pretty well today. So if you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up, share it far and wide, subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet, watch it also on steemit.com, follow me on steemit.com, and yeah, take care, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.